It's a new month, and that means there are new prints to check out. Why not 3 practical, 3 under 1 hour, and 3 art/cool prints? Up first for practical prints, we have this radius gauge. This is a 2.2 hour and 4 plate print that allows you to measure the radius of pretty much any circle really easily and really fast. I will give you one piece of advice. Print this out of colors that stand out a lot more, so it makes it a lot easier to read than what I have right here. Once you have all the parts printed out, you can assemble this mechanically beautiful design with absolutely only 3D printed parts, which I think is really cool. Pop that back cover on, glue in your dial, and you are good to start measuring any circles that you want to. This thing works very similar to a tread depth gauge where you slide it to the maximum, and then you measure whatever circle you're trying to measure, and that pushes the gears, which moves the indicator dial, which shows you about the millimeters that the object is that you're measuring. This is a beautiful design that works really well for a quick, rough estimate. Obviously, if you need something extremely precise, you should probably still bust out the old caliber, but if you need just a really quick estimate, this is the tool for you. Speaking of beautifully designed prints, this is the desk cable holder. Don't click away just yet. I know there's a lot of desk cable holders out there. This one has a really cool twist. This cable holder is actually quite mechanical because it has a tube that you can slide your cable into, and then that locks into place into the actual cable holder itself. So your cable's not going to go anywhere. It literally can't unless you break it. I guess if you really wanted to pull start that thing, you could probably get it out. But for the most part, your cable is locked in, which is a design that I really like. Especially because all it takes is one little slide of that button and bam, that tube and your cable are free. This is a really good design and is honestly a print that I'm going to be using on my own every day. There are print profiles for 1 tube, 3 tubes, and 5 tubes, so however many cables that you need on your desk, I'm sure that you can accommodate for with this. And if you need more than 5, then just print 2. It's that easy. The assembly of this print is also really satisfying, involving the spring mechanism that unlocks the tubes, a front plate, and the tube themselves. Overall, this is just a really satisfying print. If you own a 3D printer, you probably know what a SCADA's pegboard is. I'm probably saying that wrong, but it's those pegboards from IKEA that you can store pretty much anything on with a hook, or some other 3D printed device. You can store anything. It's basically like a new and improved pegboard. This is the SCADA's Pro pegboard. What stands out to me about this print compared to other SCADA's pegboards on MakerWorld is that 1, there's an option for the large format printers, your H2D or equivalent, so that you can print these out really big. 2, they're fully modular, meaning that you can stack them on top of each other, on the side of each other, underneath, and everything just works flawlessly. 3, they have built-in standoffs, so you don't have to worry about printing washers when you go and drill this thing into the wall. 4, you can hide the screws after you're done screwing this thing into the wall with these awesome covers. And finally, the 5th reason is because there are multiple different sizes, including a very small size like the one you're seeing here, which prints out in only an hour and a half. What more do you need to know? This is just the perfect variant of the IKEA SCADA's board. If you don't want to go drive all the way to IKEA and buy the real deal yourself, of course, or you need a custom size, then this is the solution for you. Hey, you there. I'm trying to hit 50K. We're so close. I need your help. Just hit that subscribe button. Thanks. Now let's move on to the quick under 1 hour category, because everybody loves a good fast print. If I told you to take a left at Candy Cane Lane and Elf Avenue, would you know where you were going? Probably not, because you haven't printed out these festive Christmas signs that also take less than 1 hour each. This is the December episode. You had to have seen some Christmas prints coming. Here they are, and there's going to be some more, so stick around. In this print profile, you have the option of Mistletoe Drive, Candy Cane Lane, and Elf Avenue. What other streets are there? There's even a print profile option for your A1 Mini. It's scaled down a little bit, but it'll still fit on your A1 Mini, and it'll still look really good. I really like the way that these street signs are actually raised up. It's not just a flat surface. You can actually see the raised details on the print. Speaking of details, look at this holly, mistletoe, cranberry. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't know what plant or leaf this is. I'm not into the Christmas plants like that, but I will admit that the design looks really good and looks really cool, especially with that raised surface. Keeping with that holly jolly spirit, these are Christmas ornaments. Now I know you're gonna say this is the under 1 hour category and this is a 10-hour print. What in the world is going on? And yes, you would be right if you printed out every single ornament and the storage box. That would take you 10 hours. However, one ornament takes 40 minutes at most. That's a good return on investment right there. This is one of those prints that really shows you how important filament choice is, especially when we compare to a standard matte green color. That silk black red really stands out, especially especially for an ornament, this is definitely the way to go. Like I said, there are 7 different designs to choose from, so you can have a multitude of different ornaments. This little cap at the top also prints separately, so if you really wanted to, you could hide some stuff in here. You can't get much in there, but you could definitely hide something in there. I don't know why I'm promoting that, I just thought it was worth pointing out. It's also worth pointing out that if you need to hide these ornaments after Christmas is over, there's a storage box so you can print out for them. Also, do I need to mention that these aren't glass, so you can drop these all day long and they're most likely not going to break. I'm sure if you dropped it from an extreme height, yes, it's going to shatter, but just your standard ground level fall, you're good to go. These things are pretty much shatterproof. You know we have to get a practical print in this under 1 hour category, so here's the rounded digital number template. This is a quick 47-minute print that is simply just a stencil so you can write down some digital numbers. Why would you need to do this? I don't really know. I just thought it was kind of cool because it's universal. You can make any number you want with this thing. It even has the dots if you're trying to write down a time, or a period if you're trying to put a decimal point for whatever number you're making. I like how thin this print is, which makes it easily storable in any drawer, backpack, folder, binder, you name it, you can store it in it. And you can also scale it to whatever size you need. Let's say these numbers are just a little bit too big for your liking. Simply go into Slicer, scale that thing down to whatever size you need, bam, print it out. And if you scale it down, it's also going to be a whole lot quicker. In turn, you can also scale it up and make some really big numbers. Of course, you're going to need a build plate that can accommodate for the larger size, but if you have it, you're good to go. Make the big numbers if you want to. I can't stop you. Okay, one more question for you. Let's say you don't have a 3D printer, or you need to print something out of nylon or ABS or ASA or some other exotic filament that you just can't print out of, or maybe you need something CNC machined, but you don't have the machine to do that. What should you do? Well, you should head on over to PCBWay, obviously. PCBWay is an online service where you can simply upload your STL file, whatever it is that you want made, choose the quantity, the size, the material that is printed out of, including nylon, which if you didn't know is hard to print out of. Pick the surface finish, if you want to spray paint it, if you want it assembled, how you want to ship to you. Add it to your cart and they will get those made for you in 2 to 3 days and shipped out to you right away. Not only that, but they also offer CNC machining, sheet metal laser cutting and bending, and injection molding. So if there is something that you need made that you just can't quite make yourself, I'm willing to bet that PCBWay is what you need. And if you're more of an electronics guy, you need an actual electronic PCB made, they are 100% the people for that. It's quite literally in their name. Go check them out in the description down below and get $5 off your first order. Moving on to the art slash just cool category, we have this magic Christmas tree. Let me give you a little bit of a closer look and you tell me what's going on here. Is that just a bunch of overhangs? Because that's what it looks like. If that's what you were thinking, you would be correct. This is just a bunch of overhangs that makes a Christmas tree. That's what I absolutely love about this design compared to other Christmas trees. It uses the way a printer prints out to create the Christmas tree. That also means that they're pretty unique. Depending on what printer you print this out on, they're going to turn out just slightly different, which I think is cool. It's kind of like a snowflake. They're just not the same. Because of the way it's printed, it also makes it slightly flexible, kind of like a real tree. You can move all these fake leaves and branches around. I also just think it looks the most like a real Christmas tree compared to all the other prints that I've seen on MakerWorld. You could also print this out of a white or maybe like a silk gold filament to get a more modern Christmassy look. If you haven't noticed, all these prints could make some really good gifts. But if you're looking for something that's a little bit better, I have an entire video of just 3D printed Christmas gifts coming out like next week, so subscribe if you don't want to miss it. Up next, we have the Christmas teardrop ornaments. Kind of like the other ornaments, there are 4 different designs for this model. You have your low poly nativity, Christmas tree, deer, and the Santa Claus ornament, which you're seeing right now. And again, this is a really good example of how important filament choice is. You can see here that this filament just does not work good for this print. As much as I really wanted it to, I printed this thing out twice in different orientations to try to get it to look good. It's okay, but it kind of has a little bit of a spooky feel to it, and that's just not the vibe for Christmas. Halloween is long gone. Printing this out of a standard red kind of seemed to work a little bit better. However, it does not have that depth that the black red silk does. But it's less spooky and more Christmassy, so there's that for you. Now let's make a complete 180 with this Bad Company 2 prop. And that's about all I'm going to say so YouTube doesn't get mad at me. This prop has a spring-loaded lever that will pop off if you decide to put a spring in there. Unfortunately, I didn't really have the kind of spring for this, so I just didn't. And it still looks great and would be perfect for a gaming room. This print will require 4 plates and 2.3 hours of your time, as well as one of those little D-ring things. I'm not really sure what they're called, but you're going to need one to attach attached a smiley face, which is what ties this whole thing together. That smiley face is what gives it that iconic Bad Company 2 look. Okay, it is bonus print time, and there is no better bonus print that I could find than this 6-7 Christmas ornament. Don't even get me started on 6-7. That is the whole point of this ornament. It just doesn't make any sense, and that's probably why I'm mad about it, because this is one of the first generational jokes that I have not been a part of. I just don't get it, and that's probably why it annoys me. Anyways, on just a printing standpoint, this is a really good looking print combining 4 colors. The details and the lines on this print are super crisp, and the colors really pop. This would actually make a really good Christmas gift for a teacher or somebody that you know that is just tired of hearing it. This was more of a joke bonus print. If you want to see some actual bonus prints, then go check out the Maker World collection down below. There's a couple of prints in there that didn't quite make the cut for this video that were released in the previous month, so it's like bonus prints on bonus prints. But that's all I have for you all in today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time watching it. I hope you found something to send to your printer right now. And if not, then I guess that only means you gotta check out my other videos, because there's gonna be some good prints in those too, right? I think so, but you should go check them out and let me know what you think. And also subscribe if you like these videos, because guess what? I make them all the time. In fact, I make them every 10 days. I put out a video every 10 days. Isn't that crazy? What is crazy is the amount of people that want to support me by being channel members. I mean, look at that list. It's growing every day. If you want to join and see your name on screen, see my past live streams, be a part of members only polls and members only posts, stuff like that, then you can click that join button. But of course, you don't have to do any of that. I just want you to have a great rest of your day, and promise me that I'll see you later in a future video. In fact, next year is when I'll see you later. Just kidding, there's like 2 more videos coming out in December, but I won't see you for another must print video until next year. So until then, see ya.